And then there's Purdy. And I thought our man for ESPN.com, Nick Wagner, wrote a very good piece on Purdy. It was an extensive piece. And one of the little anecdotes in this piece on ESPN.com is in Purdy's first preseason game, he threw a game-winning 5-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Tanner Hudson against these same Packers. And then after the throw, he turned to the Niners sidelines and he did the Aaron Rodgers patented celebration while Rodgers was on the opposite sideline. Shanahan laughed about it. And Shanahan's quote was, I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're a rookie. You can't be doing that. What are you talking S to Aaron? He's like, no, dude, I have no idea what happened. I was just excited and out there playing. And then Kyle says he has a passion to him and a competitiveness, and it's real. And I think he had that right when he got here. Is Brock Purdy? There's already people getting ready to announce that Brock Purdy, if the Niners fall short, is not the long-term answer, so on and so forth. He's not the guy, so on and so forth. He'll be the reason they fall short. There's a lot of people laying in wait for Purdy to stumble here. But I just get the feeling that Purdy's going to thrive in his moment. What's your sense of it, Guy? I mean, you've been watching this up close and from afar. What's your sense? We know Love is in an incredible rhythm. And part of the Niners' task Saturday night is to somehow interrupt that rhythm. Somehow. And I'm not sure exactly how to do it. But that has to happen. And then for Purdy, you're hoping that 21 days off that he can establish a first quarter rhythm right away, especially against a Green Bay team that almost is guaranteed to score some points. But what's your sense of Purdy? Is he still playing for the job, or is the job his no matter what? How do you expect him to play in these playoffs? This will be his second go round. He's already got 2 playoff wins. He's got more playoff wins this moment than Lamar Jackson.
In the real world, he's not playing for his job. In the real world, it's his job, meaning there's nothing that can happen in this postseason that keeps him from being the 49ers starting quarterback. There's no level of failure he can achieve that makes him not the starting quarterback this offseason. I don't think. In the world that we live in,
right.
But it's not just a YouTube, podcast, radio, media bubble thing. Look at Josh. What is this? Josh Allen's 6th year in the NFL?
Something like that, yeah.
6th year in the NFL. Do you remember 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
When he was turning it over and people were like, what the heck's wrong with this guy?
I don't know. Lamar Jackson is about to win his 2nd MVP. He's still we're still like, I don't know, can he win in the playoffs? He's still proving it. So it never ends. If you play NFL quarterback, you are one of the most watched people in this country every week, truly, by the numbers. It never ends. It does. So there's no, that's why it drove me nuts. Like when the Niners were 5-0, people going like, all right, that's it. I don't want to hear any more. And I'm pro Purdy. I don't want to hear any more debate. It's over. It's like, what? No, it's never over for guys until they're like, all pro, multiple Super Bowls, 3rd contract. And then guess what? They get old and it starts up again. You're like, I don't know. Can Brady do it? So there's no over. There's like this idea that you reach the mountaintop of being unquestioned. Everyone agrees. Everybody agrees that you can't be questioned. And you never reach that state. Look at Bill Belichick. The greatest NFL coach in the history of the sport. I've had people this week tell me like, wouldn't be that bad. Wouldn't be that bad if he took the Cowboys job. Like, he doesn't know offense, like, okay, well, let Bill take that job then. And let's find out if the Cowboys get better or worse and how fast it happens. Or Philly, right? John Calipari, once upon a time, not that long ago, top of the world at Kentucky. And they're talking about his job for years now. He's not safe anymore. So this idea that there's some level that in the next 3 games, Brock Purdy can reach whereby it ends any debate and conversation. And when I say that, let me be clear. Legitimate debate and conversation, not all the bullshit, like, because there's plenty of bullshit too. But Colin Kaepernick, we have a great example from this franchise not that long ago. At one point, Ron Jaworski said he could be the greatest quarterback of all time. And at that time, I was like, let's investigate. Jaws, welcome to the show. Let's talk about this, right? Not Jaws, you're an idiot. Because at the time, it was like, we haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
He ran for 181. Kaepernick ran for 181 yards in a playoff game.
So, yes, in Kyle Shanahan's world, there's nothing that can happen. And part of it is I've watched enough of Brock. To your original question, I'm pretty confident in him. I've seen him coming off, quote unquote, rest, came back from an off-season elbow surgery, played in the middle of the season last year. Nick, I think was it Nick Wagner that also wrote the story about the Halloween party? Maybe that was the same story.
I think so.
Which was a month before Purdy got hurt in the Dolphins game, where Brock was telling Kittle and Juice and these guys, like, don't give me a chance. Just give me a chance, right? Reminiscent of Kevin Millar, that famous clip of Kevin Millar with the Red Sox down 3-0, talking to the media during BP, and he starts going through the list. I don't remember exactly how it was. You know what I'm talking about?
Millar's we get this one. We got Schilling on this night.
Then we got Petey in 6. And don't let us get to game 7, right? It was like,
right.
Like, look out. We're about to be the first team to ever come back from 3-0. And they did it against the Yankees. Then they won the World Series. So I feel good about Brock. I think you know what you're going to get from him. The question with any young quarterback is always, will you get more? The question with Brock is not who is he right now? The question is, will he turn into Breeze? Is that what he's going to become? When you got to pay him $35, $40, $50 million, will he be able to elevate the people around him? Those are the questions to me with Brock Purdy. The questions with Brock Purdy are not, can he win this team a Super Bowl this year? There is no doubt in my mind that he's good enough to help them win a Super Bowl this year. There's no question about it. So I'm not concerned. Like, consistent after the Ravens game, there was no referendum on Purdy from me. I think he's in good shape. I think he's got what it takes. Does it mean the debate ends? No, everybody always wants to end the debate. Like, now it ends. It says who? You? No, sorry. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But
the other thing, doing it. You got to keep doing it.
Not to ramble. The other thing I want to mention, Larry, is yes, that is life. Consistent. You got to show up today and then tomorrow and then the next day and then the next day. And now you're a consistent person. You don't get to show up on time once and say, I'm an on-time person. Back to the article about Wagner and that game-winning throw against the Packers in the preseason. It's so obvious sometimes, isn't it? When you go back and look at a clip. Like, oh, I should have seen then what I see now. If you go back and watch the clip that's in that article, what you see now is, who's the first person to greet Purdy? It's, hoodie and hat Fred Warner. Like, running up to him before Purdy's off the field, low 5, right? Like, ready to chest bump him. And in hindsight, it's like, oh my God, here is Fred Warner. Usually you're checked out by that point in the game if you're a vet. Locked in on Brock Purdy's reps. The first guy to greet him on the sideline. And we know what does Fred love to do? He loves to screw with the offense and the quarterback and Brandon Ayuk and get under people's skin and all that stuff. So in hindsight, the sign was there. Like, this dude really believed in him. Oh my God. Right. It's easy to see it now. At the time, you'd be like, oh, look at Fred helping out the young guy, giving him some confidence. But maybe that's not what it was. Maybe it was, oh, Fred believes in this guy.